Hey guys, welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andre Seegers, and this time we're joined by Derek Bittner and Ash Paulson to discuss the latest Nintendo Direct. So let's get started. Alright guys, Nintendo just had a 46-minute long Nintendo Direct, and we're going to talk about this entire thing. Now we do have to keep this conversation a little bit shorter than we normally do, if only because I'm leaving really soon to go play a lot of these games. So let's go and start off, of course, with our opening impressions. What did you guys think of this Direct overall?
I think it was okay. Not great, not fantastic, but I think there's a lot of good games in there. The biggest surprise, of course, was the new Fire Emblem teaser. And everything else was just sort of like trying to build up both the amiibos and the new 3DS XL, basically trying to convince you to buy these, which didn't make it quite as interesting because most people would just want to know about the games, but some of the features were pretty cool. So I wasn't entirely disappointed, but I also wasn't exactly hyped up beyond all belief when it came to this Direct.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement. I'd give it a solid 7 or 7.5 out of 10. I think it was good, not
7.9?
great. Yeah, 7.9, yeah. I think it was good, not great. I do think some of the thunder was stolen just because of the new 3DS and Majora's Mask 3D release date leak. I think if we hadn't known about that before this, it would have been a lot more interesting. But, you know, we knew pretty much the biggest news of the Direct going in, so I think that kind of, you know, dampened the hype a little bit. But it was still good, lots of new information, especially on Amiibo, a surprise Fire Emblem announcement. So there's some good stuff here.
Yeah, there is some good stuff. For me, from a... Like, there was a lot of information covered in there. There's a lot of games that got a lot of release dates, and you know, some of that footage does look really good. With that said, I found this to be probably the least exciting Direct I can think of in recent memory. I mean, they literally did just stick to the spring release dates, or spring games, basically, which is fine. That's what they said, and that's what at least I expected. But you know, at the same time, it really did just feel like more of what we've already seen. And you know, by and large, and for the most part, yeah, it felt like a visual press release.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so it was fine. It was, you know, it was totally fine. No big surprises, I would say, but you know, it was fine. All right, so I guess what stood out to you guys? Like, what was your highlights? You know, anything in here that captured you or excited you? That you're looking forward to finding more about, or?
Obviously for me it was Fire Emblem. Yeah. I love that series. It's funny that I'm so excited for Fire Emblem because I still haven't completed Awakening, even though I really need to, and especially now that this is coming out. But that game looks just so interesting from a visual standpoint, and how they're going to expand upon the Awakening formula. Just the ideas there is really exciting, and I mean, I was right there with you, Andre. When we first saw it, I was like, oh crap, are they finally showing off Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem? Because it really looked like that at first, because there was this very Eastern flavor, especially with that one stone face monster showing up. I'm like, oh, cool, they're finally showing it off, and I thought it was going to be for Wii U because the graphics look so good. And it just ended up being like, those were the cutscenes, here's the actual gameplay. I'm like, oh, okay, it's new Fire Emblem, but hey, new Fire Emblem, so I'm still really excited for that game.
Yeah, that was surprising. I do think it's funny that a few people got on our case in our latest discussion, our predictions discussion, for forgetting about the crossover game, and well, apparently Nintendo did too. So
yeah. I felt like there was both some good surprises and bad surprises for me. Good surprise was that, good surprise for me was that there's a limited edition Majora's Mask new 3DS XL coming, which is kind of cool. I don't think really anyone saw that coming.
No, I mean, it makes a ton of sense too. I'm so glad they're doing that.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. I kind of wish it was purple and not gold, since purple's like the motif of the game, but it's pretty cool. You sound really torn up over this, Andre. You were like really sad. That was great.
I'm also, you're right. I mean, like the box art's so distinctive, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
it looks too much like the current Zelda 3DS. You know?
It does, yeah.
Also, the new Hyrule Warriors DLC. Like, I'm not playing. I haven't played a lot of the current DLC, and Tingle I'm not crazy about. But I think the young Link with the Fierce Deity Mask is actually a really cool surprise.
That looks great, and it actually kind of makes me wish the Majora's Mask 3D were on the Wii U. It's like, oh man, it would have looked like this.
Yeah, I know.
But with that said, I'm still super hyped for that game.
Yeah.
I think the I'm not I haven't played much Hyrule Warriors, but I think the Majora's Mask DLC looks pretty great.
Yeah.
And even though I've historically hated Tingle, he's got this weird thing about him. It's like the Waluigi effect. It's starting to grow on me a little bit.
Wow, really?
I kind of like what they've done with him here, like with his balloon, his weird little dance.
I'm the same way. Like, he was like kind of adorable. I know a lot of people were hoping for him, or like they were very curious like who they could use. And the one that most people seem to want is Tingle. So it's really cool. And actually, they're drawing from his design in that game too, much more so than his later design. It's more in the facial features, I think.
Right.
It really feels more like Majora's Mask. And yeah, having Kid Link in there with the Fierce Deity mask equipped, I'm like, that's a really great idea. Rather than have Fierce Deity the entire time, it's not quite so much a cheat button, and you still get that excitement from Fierce Deity. So I'm really looking forward to checking that out because I already bought the season pass, so
right.
I'm going to get this.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense contextually. I do like how they put that in there. Now, speaking of the new 3DS, actually, which we were, just a little while ago, the new 3DS, we're only getting the new 3DS XL. We're not getting the original 3DS, or new
right.
3DS, I should say, or the smaller 3DS, whatever that was called in Japan, which is weird. Like, that actually stood out to me as being one of the more odd things about the Direct. So I'm curious to see how you guys feel about that.
That surprised me too, actually. I'm wondering if that's because maybe the sales data shows that the sales of the regular 3DS really petered out after the 3DS XL was released here in America. So I'm wondering if they just feel like there's really no point. But I feel like that's going to upset a lot of people because there are some people who prefer the original 3DS's smaller, more higher pixel density screen and just kind of the overall dimensions. Some people find the XL to be too large. So I'm a little surprised by that.
Well, and we're missing out on faceplates too.
Oh, that's true. Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, so the faceplates were only for the regular new 3DS
Right.
and not for the XL. So that does. I wonder if they'll release it later down the line, or if they just figure there's no market for it.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I get the feeling they think there's no market for it because I don't even think of the potential of a faceplate is there. Or even like it makes no sense to me to release the smaller 3DS smaller new 3DS later down the line when they already have the XL here. Like XL is the big one. You'd think it'd be the opposite.
Yeah, that's true.
But and I know a lot of people are addicted to the faceplates idea. Personally, I don't need to buy any more junk, but I know people are so addicted to get those little themes and just customize their 3DS even further. And I think they're really missing out on that. I'm not sure how big that would have been in the US, but look at the amiibos. So I think it had a lot of potential there. So it is very odd that they decided to not bring the smaller new 3DS.
It's funny because I was literally having this conversation with my friend last night. We grabbed dinner and he was asking, he was debating whether he should get the XL or the original. And I was telling him, coming from the original 3DS, I actually liked moving up to the smaller new 3DS because the screen size is still a considerable upgrade from the old one. It's a good size and it worked, and the faceplates are kind of neat. And now we won't have that option, which I think is going to crush him a little bit. So I ultimately don't think it's a huge deal, but it is just a little bit weird. And I wonder if, I can't help but wonder if maybe the Game Boy Micro played a part in this. Because that also had faceplates back in the day. And maybe they didn't do that well. And then even Xbox, dropped the faceplate idea as well. The original Xbox 360. So maybe it's just not a thing that appeals to US gamers. Although, it is weird that they have the themes on the 3DS. And those match the faceplates you can get. So
Actually, I just thought of this. One of the biggest exclusions to the new 3DS is the lack of an AC adapter. That
surprised me. That is one of the weirdest things.
Well, it's not the first time they've done that, though.
No, it is in the US, I believe.
Is it? Oh, okay. Oh, it is in the US. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's just they pack it in for the US because they get those first time buyers, but this really does position the new 3DS as more of an upgrade machine. They expect you to have it unless they're going to start selling those AC adapters separately, which I guess they will, and they better be damn cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they will be though.
Probably not, and they'll probably be in short supply because Nintendo loves helping out the scalpers nowadays. It seems.
That's for sure.
Right.
But yeah, it's just crazy to me.
And I'm getting kind of a DSi vibe from the new 3DS in terms of it. I'm wondering if it's going to have trouble legitimizing itself in the marketplace because pretty much, I would say 95% of the features that were gone over for various games for the new 3DS exclusive features were like C-stick camera control, and that's kind of it. Like it was overwhelmingly, hey, you can control the camera with the C-stick and face tracking 3D, but for all the games. Like, it doesn't really seem like the new 3DS is that, it doesn't seem like it's that necessary an upgrade, at least based on what they showed in the Direct today.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, they didn't show off a ton of super compelling reasons to pick it up. Like, it does seem like, it more is for the hardware at this point than it is for game support, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably want to get it for the face tracking 3D just because I really love the 3D feature, and I mean, it might be nice having a smoother home menu and faster game booting, but it really does feel like a DSi type thing where it's not really. I don't know. I'm wondering how the sales are actually going to be. I don't really see it necessarily taking off like the original 3DS and 3DS XL did.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. So it'll be interesting to see, what happens here. Although thinking about Derek mentioning releasing the smaller 3DS later on might not make much sense. I could actually maybe see it as like a budget release, right? Like maybe around the holidays. It's like, hey, here's a smaller version of the new 3DS XL, and it's cheaper, right? And you get faceplates. So maybe they're waiting for the holiday season to roll it out again.
I'm wondering if maybe they just think that it's just too crowded a marketplace. They want to avoid confusing the casual consumer with so many different 3DS models.
Yeah, I mean that could be it too. Who really knows with Nintendo? Now there were a few other interesting features announced today. One of which is that Wii games are coming to the eShop. Is that right? Like Mario Galaxy 2?
Yeah, downloadable Wii games.
So that is pretty awesome, actually. That is really cool, and we saw an example of that in Mario Galaxy 2, as well as a few others.
I mean, it's neat that they're able to get those games on there for people who missed out on one of them the first time. Right. I mean, all 3 games they announced are excellent, especially Metroid Prime Trilogy. That's a huge one to have it in the first wave, especially since that is so much new on the when you try to find it at GameStop.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that for the first week they're also going to be half price. So these are really aggressively priced and marketed Wii games for the eShop. Now, what's strange about all this is that we still don't have Nintendo 64 or DS support for the Wii U yet on the eShop. And they talked about both of those before, yet we got on there first.
Yeah, it's really strange. Like, what is going on with the N64 Virtual Console? It was announced more than a year ago, and now they're giving us downloadable Wii games first. It's so strange.
It is.
I do think it's pretty cool. I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity in terms of not having any sort of upscaling going on. I'm a little disappointed about that.
Well, that gets to the whole thing I was going to bring up with. Does this basically confirm no HD Mario Galaxy pack?
I almost feel like it might.
Yeah, but that sucks.
Yeah, and it's also, I don't know, like so many things with the Virtual Console and the Wii U. It seems very, I don't know, not GIMP, but there's so many like kind of caveats. So like you can only use the gamepad to control Wii games if those games were originally compatible with the Classic Controller Pro, and it's just like, I mean, I'm obviously not a game developer, but how hard would it be to actually add gamepad controller support to Wii games beyond just those that were compatible with the Classic Controller Pro? It just seems like there's so many kind of asterisks and caveats to a lot of these, classic titles from the Wii and earlier systems on the Wii U. It's just, I don't know, it's getting a little obnoxious. I mean, I don't know. I own all these games on disc, so I won't need to download them, but I am really happy that games like Metroid Prime Trilogy are going to be available for more people, and it's such a great price too.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I believe, I could be mistaken, but didn't he say it's basically launching the Wii U into Wii mode to play those games?
I wasn't sure. I didn't quite catch that. I wasn't sure if he was saying that you had to launch the Wii U into Wii mode to launch those games, and now you don't because they're downloadable and they're available on the Wii U menu.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's the case.
I think so too. Yeah.
So I wonder though, that's still playing into it. Maybe the Wii U is still like converting into Wii mode, and that's why I can't read any other controllers. But I mean, I just wish, I wish you could use a gamepad, or if they offered multiple controller support. Because it is really annoying. Like whenever I play different Wii U games, I have to find one of however many controllers that works with that particular game. Whether it's a GameCube controller for Smash Brothers, or gamepad for Mario Kart, or Wii controller for something else. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But now something else they announced that was interesting is Mario vs. Donkey Kong. We found out a little bit more about the Wii U title, but they're also doing a cross-buy thing, where if you buy the Wii U one, I believe, you get the 3DS one for free as well.
And vice versa.
Oh, and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
So that's different for Nintendo.
Yeah.
It is. It's something that people I think have been begging for a long time, because there's NES games on both the Wii U and the 3DS.
Right.
So a lot of people were like, "Well, I just bought Super Mario Brothers on the 3DS. Why can't I also have it on the Wii U? Why do I have to buy the game twice?" So it's really encouraging to see Nintendo finally embracing this, and hopefully they'll do this a lot more often for games that are on both systems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they really should be adopting that, at least on a virtual console-wide basis. You really shouldn't have to spend $5 separately for the original Super Mario Brothers on both Wii U and 3DS. They really need to adopt that aggressive kind of cross-buy mentality that Sony does so well. But it is encouraging to see it at least in one game. I'm hoping, this is kind of just a jumping-off point, and we'll see it in other games as well. One thing I'm not so crazy about price-wise, though, is I don't know if you guys caught this. It was kind of a quick thing, but in Pokemon Shuffle, which is coming next month to the 3DS eShop, they're adopting a F2P type pricing mentality where
really? I missed that.
So you start with 5 stars, and each puzzle battle you do takes 1 star, and then those stars either replenish over time, or you can buy more stars with real money. And I just I hate that. I don't want to keep that in mobile games on the phone. I'm not a fan.
No, I saw that, and I mean, as soon as I was watching this game, like, this is Candy Crush. This is Pokemon version of Candy Crush. And when I heard the free-to-play stuff about it coming, like, they are really going down that path, which I guess, I mean, it's a successful path, obviously. It's Pokemon, so it's going to bring people in there. You add in that Candy Crush stuff. I could see this becoming very much a thing. But yeah, you're right. I'm not sure about the Nintendo adopting the whole free-to-play mentality. Now, this isn't the only time they've done that, where they've kind of had that with, like, what was it, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball,
right,
and Steel Diver. So this is just another foray in that sort of vein, but this seems like the most aggressive one of those titles.
Yeah, I mean, at least with Rusty, it was kind of charming in that you could get Rusty to bring his prices down, and that you had in-game items that could make Rusty lower his prices even further. This just seems straight up like a F2P copy and paste mentality.
Right. Yeah. It's I mean, Nintendo is experimenting a lot recently with different game models or business models for their games, it seems. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens here, and because they are appealing primarily to a younger demographic, I think. Ones who don't usually have direct access to credit cards.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Now, speaking of spending money, actually, Nintendo announced more amiibo, including Smash Brothers, as well as the official announcement of the Mario series of amiibo, including like Mario, Yoshi, I believe, and like Toad, for instance. And on top of that, they announced how those amiibo will be used as well. We saw in Mario Party 10, they'll give you access to a new mode, like an amiibo board game mode that has amiibo-specific board games, as well as in Captain Toad, by scanning in I think the Toad amiibo, I guess. It'll put like a hidden Toad somewhere in the level you have to go find.
There was the amiibo support for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. There was Fire Emblem amiibo support in Codename Steam, which was actually kind of surprising.
So yeah, there was a fair amount in there. So yeah, do you guys have any thoughts on the amiibo support so far?
I mean, those are interesting little additions as far as like what they can do, and it's interesting that they're actually launching these amiibos with Mario Party 10, even including a bundle. The thing that stuck out most to me, though, is that they said, yeah, you can use either your Smash, just the Smash amiibos, or these new Mario amiibos for this game, as long as they're compatible. But the one sticking point, I'm like, oh, that is so cruel, is like, let's say you have a Mario amiibo that you've trained up to level 50, but you don't want to spend the money for another Mario amiibo to have that board in Mario Party 10.
Right.
If you do that, you have to erase the data off the amiibo, meaning all that your level 50 amiibo custom fighter or fighter player, or all that is gone, just so you can unlock this board in Mario Party 10.
Well, that sucks. I didn't realize that. That's really unfortunate then. So effectively, yeah, you basically have to buy a new amiibo then, right? Unless you don't mind overriding your save data.
Yeah, I mean, back when the first wave of Amiibo was released, they did slyly kind of talk about that. They said that Amiibo can only hold save data for one game at a time.
Right, I remember that, yeah.
So it isn't actually surprising, but to have it kind of manifest in this form is disappointing, because I don't know, I want to go back and look at the trailer, but I actually am kind of excited about the Mario Party 10 Amiibo functionality. Like, I maybe it's not as cool as I thought it was. I need to go back and watch the trailer again, but it looks actually kind of compelling. So it might be worth erasing my Smash data if I don't want to get a new, if I don't want to buy the Super Mario Brothers series amiibo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if only it'd be nice if they had like some kind of utility you could back up amiibo to.
Yeah,
like,
that would be nice.
Right, exactly. Basically like a Pokemon Bank for amiibo or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know there's that thing where if your amiibo data gets corrupted in Smash Brothers, the console does save a backup copy of your amiibo data, so you can restore it from that.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if there'll be a way to do that, and in terms of ascertain that your amiibo data is backed up on your Wii U, so then you can go back and restore your level 50 amiibo whenever you want to.
Yep, that'd be pretty nice. All right, well, I think we covered most of the big things, but I don't think we've touched on Xenoblade Chronicles X yet. They should have a little bit more of that. I know both of you. I think both of you played Xenoblade Chronicles. So yeah, what do you think about seeing more of this game?
I'm really excited about it, or I should say, I'm excited about a lot of the similarities I'm seeing to the character designs in Xenosaga Episode 3, a game I really, really loved. And the trailer looks really nice, but I was noting, and I noticed that some other people noticed as well, that there are some major frame rate stutters in a lot of the wide sweeping shots and landscape shots in Xenoblade Chronicles X, which has me a little worried. I mean, this game has been in development for so long now, and it still doesn't seem like it's optimized. Excuse me. And I know some people were thinking it might just be the stream, but I went back and watched the trailer on YouTube, and those stutters still seem to be there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to really look at it closely yet, so I didn't notice those stutters offhand. I mean, they're still working on it. They definitely improved the graphics since the first trailer to where it's currently at now. I guess they still have time because we don't have an official release date yet. All we know so far is 2015. So I'm guessing we'll probably get a lot more info come E3. But yeah, I'm hoping they'll be able to iron that sort of thing out and get that sort of fixed, because I didn't notice any. I don't remember any frame rate issues, at least with Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. So I think it's something manageable. It is just really impressive to see the scale. Like when he jumped off that mountain into the water, the scale is just mind blowing with this game, and I think that has me the most excited for. It's just what they're able to do. But once again, for me, the game that sort of stole the show every time I see it was Splatoon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all the customization that they'll be able to do, how they have little effects with all the clothing, all the weapons. It just looks like so much fun. It's just so damn charming.
It does look really good. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really flushed out game.
Yeah, I loved all the equipment, or the stat customization with various equipment. You can go buy new clothes, hats, weapons for your Inklings. No, Splatoon's really shaping up to be something special. I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm surprised that they're actually, they have a release. They revealed a month for the release date, which is May, which is a little earlier than I thought they were going to do. They gave it that May slot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true. Well, yeah, we were wondering what was going to go there, and now we know. So, yeah, that's actually that's earlier than I expected. I mean, that's pre-E3, which would be nice. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see what all they can show off at E3 now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, actually, I guess real quick, no Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, and I was actually going to mention that. No Yoshi's Woolly World and no Mario Maker, which these are supposed to be releasing in spring 2015, all these games they showed today. I'm really surprised we didn't see Mario Maker, but especially Yoshi, because it really feels like Yoshi has been in development hell for a long time now. Yeah,
and maybe that's continuing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even think, I somehow forgot about Mario Maker, despite me predicting it would be in this one. That is disappointing, actually.
Yeah.
And so that would suggest it's not going to be a spring title, unless they're planning on announcing it at a later point. But
I don't think so. I think that these two are probably they would just maybe summer. I'm hoping summer, because I don't want them to get lost come September and everything else.
Well, I could see one or two. I don't know. I could see. I mean, they don't have, for I guess a fall winter season. We only know about really Zelda and probably Star Fox, right? So there's a couple months in there they could slip in another title or two, I think, pretty easily.
Right.
That's true.
I didn't get to join for the prediction discussion, but I made some of my own predictions on Twitter, and I predicted correctly that the Mewtwo DLC or Smash DLC and a second Mario Kart 8 DLC wouldn't make an appearance. And I see a lot of people being concerned about that, like on Twitter reactions, and I'm not really that surprised. Are you guys? It feels a little soon.
Yeah, it does actually, and I don't think we didn't predict those either. Actually, I don't think.
No, we didn't.
We didn't even mention one of those, I think. So
yeah,
Mewtwo.
We kind of forgot about Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Oops. No, I'm not surprised either, because when we looked at the original Mario Kart 8 DLC, that was almost like 2 weeks before it actually happened.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And
this feels too early for them. So it'll probably be the same sort of situation.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe in a month or two we'll get Smash DLC, Mewtwo and Miiverse stage info. But yeah, a lot of people seem to expect to hear about that today, and I thought it was just too soon.
Yeah, it seems like it might be. So
yeah.
I mean, but Mewtwo is supposed to be spring, right? So they could give it maybe they'll give it its own like mini direct or something.
That's true, and I mean, spring really can qualify as late as May. So I mean, we still have a ways to go.
Yeah, they could have another direct in there. I mean, yeah, who knows? It's Nintendo, right?
Exactly.
So do you guys have any final thoughts or anything you want to touch on before we wrap it up here?
Just that I am in day 1 for a Ness amiibo. I'm so excited that he's finally included in Wave 4. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my Duck Hunt.
Oh yeah, that's got to be coming soon.
And Game & Watch. All my mains, man.
And Game, yeah.
Yeah, they still need to come. The only thing I got left is like that. I found it interesting that they're making Puzzle and Dragons a bundle with both the Mario Edition and the original Puzzle Dragon Z. I thought that was kind of a clever idea to get people into the series. But otherwise, yeah, it's just a pretty basic Nintendo Direct. Some exciting things announced, and we'll see how it goes from here. Definitely a lot of games coming.
The last thing I can think of really is that I was surprised by the Fire Emblem amiibo support in Codename Steam. It just seemed, I know I think they're from the same development team, which is why it makes sense, but I don't know, I just didn't really see it coming. I'm not sure really anyone did, and it's kind of cool that you can actually have Marth, Ike, Robin, and Lucina in your Codename Steam party. It kind of came out of nowhere, but I think that's the kind of amiibo support I want to see in games. Like, really unique, exclusive things that you don't have to have the amiibo for, but that really do add super cool things if you have them, which seems a lot cooler than the Captain Toad thing where you find a pixelated Toad, which I hope adds something, but it doesn't seem like it will, so I don't know.
Yeah, they showed off a lot. Again, nothing super exciting, but we got some concrete info, which is great. And we'll be covering a lot more of this Direct very soon, I'm sure, in either more specific discussions or analysis videos. Alright guys, I think that wraps up for us here, so thanks for watching. If you liked our discussion, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, which you can find links to in the description below, so you can keep up to date on everything we post. And of course, keep an eye on GameXplain.com for more on this Nintendo Direct and other things gaming as well. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.